Dramatic scenes are unfolding at the late Iranian Supreme Leader's funeral, as grief spills over into raw fury at the United States and its president. On camera, mourners grieving Ali Khamenei are seen hanging an effigy of Trump, turning the procession into a stark warning aimed directly at Washington. Trump, Netanyahu wanted criminals. Iranians brandish a $100 million bounty banner and hit list posters, openly calling for blood as the funeral march rolls through Tehran. Angry Iranians are demanding Trump's blood as they bid farewell to Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, turning the funeral into an outpouring of grief and vengeance. Participants at Ali Khamenei's funeral in Tehran hanged an effigy of Donald Trump on July 6, turning the procession into a charged display of rage against the U.S. president. The dramatic scene unfolded during the state funeral march for the late Supreme Leader, as mourners mixed religious mourning with explicit political threats. Some in the crowd were heard chanting, "We don't want a deal, we want Trump's head," signaling rejection of negotiations and a desire for personal vengeance. A group of Iranians carried a large banner reading "Kill Trump, $100 million Iranian bounty," echoing earlier hardline campaigns that called for a reward on his head. A large poster showed Trump and Netanyahu as wanted men, their images marked with crosshairs to depict them as active targets rather than just political opponents. The poster also carried English-language threats like "There will be blood and kill Trump," intended for foreign audiences as much as domestic ones. Mourners burned US and British flags during Ali Khamenei's funeral procession in Tehran, according to Reuters. Crowds carried anti-US banners featuring Donald Trump alongside the words "There will be blood" during the procession. Some mourners also carried banners reading "Kill" alongside images of Benjamin Netanyahu and US Vice President J.D. Vance. The procession formed part of Iran's week-long national farewell for the late Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. Khamenei and several members of his family were killed in US-Israeli airstrikes on February 28, according to Iranian authorities. Iranian officials said the funeral ceremonies would include mourning processions in cities across the country. The remains are also scheduled to be taken to Shiite holy sites in Iraq before the final burial ceremony. Khamenei is scheduled to be laid to rest on July 9 after the conclusion of a week of nationwide mourning ceremonies. Mourners lined the roads near Imam Hossein Square and in Gelab Square. Many waited for hours to witness the procession. Crowds waited for a final glimpse as Ali Khamenei's coffin was carried through the streets. Many waved flags and recited prayers as it passed. The funeral procession is expected to pass through several major streets of Tehran. Security has been tightened along the entire route. Ali Khamenei's coffin is being carried on a flatbed truck through the capital. The vehicle is moving slowly to allow mourners to pay their respects. Mourners waved Iranian flags, chanted slogans, and offered prayers during the procession. Many were seen openly grieving as the convoy passed. Iranian authorities have closed several major roads for the funeral procession. Traffic restrictions are expected to remain in place throughout the ceremonies. Airspace restrictions have also been imposed during the funeral events. The measures are intended to support security arrangements. The Iranian government has suspended normal activities during the official mourning period. State institutions are observing the national ceremonies. The late Supreme Leader ruled Iran for 37 years before his death at the age of 86. He was one of the country's longest-serving leaders. Iran has organized a week of state mourning, including processions across Iran and Iraq. Memorial events are being held in multiple cities. The final burial is scheduled to take place at the Imam Reza Shrine in Mashhad. The ceremony is expected to conclude the official mourning period. The ceremonies come at a critical moment for Iran's leadership. The country is also navigating major regional and political challenges. Iranian officials have described the mourning as a symbol of national unity. They say the ceremonies reflect public respect for the late leader. The events are expected to continue through Thursday on July 9th before the final burial ceremony of Iran's late Supreme Leader. Hundreds of thousands of people gathered in Iran for prayers honoring the late Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei. Mourners dressed in black carried flags and banners paying tribute to Khamenei through the streets of Tehran on July 4th. Some in the crowd also chanted anti-U.S. slogans and displayed signs calling for the killing of Donald Trump. The rally coincided with Trump's address marking the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States. Iranian President Pezeshkian and Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf attended the national mourning prayers. Revolutionary Guard Chief Ahmad Vahidi and Quds Force Commander Esmail Khani were also present at the ceremony. Khamenei's sons, Mostafa, Masoud and Maisam Khamenei, made their first public appearance since the war. Mojtaba Khamenei did not appear at the ceremony despite succeeding his father as Iran's supreme leader.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.